What up? This is Robert Horry.
Horry, three-pointer. Buries it.
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Horry for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Horry from downtown.
I know what's going on, Big Shot Bob. It's called the Shoot Around. Episode 98 of this Joker. We do these on Fridays, a little bonus show for you. Mostly nonsense, stuff that didn't make the other shows, and questions that you send our way.
Think about this. There's only going to be maybe 1 to 2 more shoot-arounds left in the NBA.
What do you mean? Oh, as far as, yeah,
shoot-arounds. Because shoot-arounds you have before a game.
Before a game, We're taping this a little bit early this week, so we very well could be done. This thing could be over by the time this drops. We don't know yet. So if that is the case, congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder for winning the NBA title. And if they did not win on Thursday night, congratulations to the Indiana Pacers for forcing a Game 7. So somebody may have a title and maybe not today. We'll find out. We got lots of questions. We got some really good questions here. I don't know if a lot of these have to do, well, some stuff has to do with basketball, not much. I want to start with this random piece of audio for the week. This cracked me up. I thought you guys would get a kick out of this. This is Sheriff Grady Judd from Polk County, Florida. This is at an actual press conference that happened in front of the media. They arrested about 200 guys in a human trafficking investigation. A lot of the guys they arrested were cross-dressers. So he's holding up pictures of these guys and showing you what they look like with the makeup and without the makeup. And the way he described this one gentleman absolutely killed me.
When he walks in, you think, well, I have set up a deal with an ugly woman. And I think you would all agree that this guy's an ugly woman. This is what you really get when the makeup comes off. This is Jason Bathurst. Now, I want you to think about this a minute, okay? You decide that you're going to hook up with a woman. She comes in, and she's already uglier than a mud fence. Right? Yeah, he looks like he should have been in a Scarface movie someplace. I don't know. When you find him in the bar at night, you try to drink him pretty, and you wake up the next morning and you see this. Yeah, that's what we call Rolex ugly. Rolex ugly is you wake up the next morning and they're laying on your arm and your Rolex is there and you just chew your arm off and leave the Rolex. You just got to get out of there. You don't care about the Rolex.
I love that he did this.
You try to drink him pretty.
You try to drink him pretty. But uglier than a mud fence. Rolex ugly. He did it at a professional press conference. Absolutely my favorite. I didn't know, and I don't know if you have one or not. Do you have a favorite random saying someone's ever dropped on you like that? Uglier than a mud fence. I almost lost it, man. That's one of my all-time favorites.
I was just with my cousin Dean, and we were with my mom's birthday in New Orleans. And I'm from the South, so I've heard a lot of shit, right? She said that, you've heard the saying, cleaner than the Board of Health.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said he's cleaner than a casket factory. I'm like, what? It's like, I'm like,
cleaner than a casket factory?
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell? Why does a casket factory have to be clean?
It's going in the dirt.
Yeah, I'm like, cleaner than a casket factory. I'm like, and everybody was dying laughing.
I like that a lot.
My cousin Dean, she's my mother's aunt, but she's younger than my mother, and so. If you ever want to laugh, she would make you laugh. So we playing spades, and Cameron, my middle son, and I were playing against my mom and Dean. And it got down where he needed one cut, and Cameron cut Dean. And Dean looked at me, you motherfucking tattooed bitch.
Oh, the claws came out.
So she said, so now every time we look, so you old tattooed bitch.
Tattooed bitch.
So that's wild.
He is so funny, man. I love her to death. And by the way, she makes the best pecan pie I ever had. So
you sound like it.
That's great. Cleaner than a casket factory, the name of this week's shoot around, by the way.
What did I hear?
That's great. I don't know if you have one or not. I just thought it was.
I think I got
uglier than a mud fence. I love that so much.
So especially in the black community, you like thick women. may not big, but shapely.
Yeah, sure.
Something that make you when you turn
Chunky
your
chunk.
yeah. So I've always heard, and I started to use it myself. Sometimes she thicker than a bowl of oatmeal on a Sunday evening. You never heard that?
I like that.
I never heard that one.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I've never heard
Yeah,
that
she
either.
got
but I like
extra
it.
thicker than a bowl of oatmeal on a Sunday evening. Yeah, so
That's a good one.
that's one of my little
That's a really good one.
When we get off air, I'm gonna tell you what my dad used to say. My dad fought in Vietnam.
Oh
So-
no, yeah. Let's leave that
I'll
for
tell you
the.
what he said after
Let's leave that for the after show. When I turn the recording off. Let's leave it for that one. All right, question from Keith. Did you guys see Tyrese Halliburton doing the cold tub with Kevin Hart for the LOL Network? And talking about LeBron being an old man. And I'm going to play the audio for you because it's pretty damn funny. It's only about 30 seconds. But listen to Halliburton telling stories about LeBron.
We were calling Bron and Katie like, they're
Yeah.
like Bron do some old now. We're sitting in the training room. We're sitting in the training room. He'll have his iPad on his chest, watching The Sopranos, no headphones, full volume.
Yeah.
And I walk in the training room and nobody's saying anything.
You got no headphones, bro?
So I tell him like, you're literally the Beats guy.
Yeah.
Why don't you got no headphones on? How many times you seen? He's like, it's like my fourth time. I'm sorry, why are you laughing so hard?
That's where he's gotten to.
For sure.
Bro, I'm 40, man.
Yeah.
That's a big number.
It's a big age.
So he's watching the iPad, full volume, no headphones. That's a very old man thing. So Keith wants to know, what old man behavior do you have? Something that you could look at, or someone else looks at and goes, you're being old. And I could tell you mine immediately because
Well,
I saw
y'all
this
should
question.
should be quick with y'all.
Oh yeah, because we're old. Yeah. No, I
What you trying to
won't.
say, Hart?
I won't go outside without some kind of slippers on. Like if I have to go run to the trash or something, I'm putting on slides, and I don't
that's
care
too
if I got
old.
socks on with my slides. I will not go outside barefoot or without. No, I gotta have slippers on or something.
That's not as old as you think. Because I'll throw on my little Nike slides sometimes. I'm going to take the trash out or something like that. Or
Okay. Old man behavior, Rob.
I don't know. That's shit.
I can't. I have a hard time staying awake past 9:30 at night some nights. That feels very old man to me. I used to make fun of my stepdad for falling asleep on the couch, and now I totally get it. I'm like, I would.
I make myself go to bed at 10:30, 11 o'clock. Because I'll stay up to 1 and go to sleep and be up at 6 the next day. So no, I don't. I need to call Candace and ask her.
Old man behavior?
15 things. That
Oh, she'll run them off.
That's not old man.
she gonna end up saying something that she didn't think she should be saying neither. Hold on, stop, wait.
You're on the podcast? No,
Yeah.
no. I was just curious.
Oh,
Do you have any
I
old
have to
man
get
behavior?
back to you on that one. I have to think about it.
Okay.
And I guarantee you, my kids, they always say I'm critical of everybody. And everything has to be done my way, or this is the wrong way. It's like...
Well, that's
not old. That's just controlling. That's just controlling.
That's just- yeah.
That's not old.
You're just a narcissist. That's all that is.
Lucky for you.
Like I'm the type of person, everything has a place, and I can't stand clutter.
Okay.
And so it's like, for me, I'm like, oh, you're just gonna leave that there?
Yeah.
And they have this thing.
Oh,
now
see,
where I
that's
start-
passive aggressive. I like that. Sign me up for
Yeah.
passive aggressive
And
all day.
they do this now to each other when I'm being critical. They're like, he's being critical. That's the sign that they do. And I'm like, I'm not being critical. I'm just pointing out your flaws. What's wrong with that?
Yeah. Why don't you do it right? Then I won't have to give you
Exactly.
shit. How about that? Yeah.
What do I have? So there was a point in time, and it was actually when I was probably a little younger. I couldn't wait. Anytime Murder, She Wrote came on, I couldn't wait to watch it. Like I could sit and watch almost a whole Murder, She Wrote marathon.
Okay. Yeah, that's old person behavior.
Yeah. What's another one? Like sometimes, anytime I sit down, because my granddad used to do.
Oh, are you a noisy riser and sitter?
No, sometimes I be thanking Jesus every time I sit down.
Oh.
Like it's just this miraculous thing.
That is very old man behavior. I like that.
Like
a
getting
lot.
up and sitting down is just this life or death type of thing.
That's
like my granddaddy used to do every time he sit down, you used to hear him under his breath, thank you, Jesus. And then get back up, be like, thank you, Lord. Like it's just this, yeah. So
I'm at the age where I grunt every time I stand up or sit down now. And Shannon makes fun of me all the time, my wife. Every time I sit down, I'm like, ah.
yeah.
I get up, I'm like, oh. Like, yeah, that's...
It becomes a habit. Even if you're not hurting, it becomes a habit.
No,
Yeah.
I just, every time I sit down on the bed, I just, ah.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
That's just it.
All right.
Like, get to that moment, boy.
My favorite story of the week came from a Kentucky man named Cowboy Cody, who was arrested this past Friday after releasing a raccoon inside of a bar that he got kicked out of.
What?
Off the Big Apple Bar and Grill in Kentucky. Officers later found the suspect, identified as 40-year-old Jonathan Mason, who goes by the nickname Cowboy Cody. I have no idea why. He'd been previously asked not to trespass on the bar's property, and instead he came back and he released a raccoon into the bar, closed the door, and everybody freaked out.
You got rabies. You got rabies. You got rabies.
White crime.
Oh, no, 100% white crime. 1,000% white crime. One person was bitten by the raccoon, according to police.
Of course they were. Of course they were.
Have you ever had to take revenge against somebody for something? Or wanted to take revenge against somebody for something?
Almost every freaking day.
Almost every day? You just scream around with your fist in the air, just revenge!
And no, so when I was in college, we were playing Auburn. And my teammates laugh at me about this. I can't remember the guy's name, but he elbowed me and started talking shit. And so I said, well, I'm gonna get your ass back, right? I was a revenge for motherfucking college. So he had a hurt knee and he fell. You know how you jump over people? Mm-hmm. I jumped right on that bitch and pushed off hard, ran down the end of the court.
Damn!
and he got up steaming, right? And he came down the court running at me full speed, and I stood there, and he tried to hit me. I did the sidestep, and it was like a cartoon, and he hit the back of the head, like, boom. I jumped up like, motherfucker, you stepped on my knee. I said, well, you shouldn't have elbowed me, motherfucker. And it was the funniest thing ever.
Oh, my God.
So I'm all
man.
about that.
You did like the Bugs Bunny with the bowl. Just like,
But that was the last time. But the time before that, I remember this too. We were playing Vanderbilt. And if you elbow me and you look at me and talk shit, oh, that's the worst thing to do. So this little motherfucker elbowed me, and I couldn't get him back the whole game because I was waiting for him to set a pick and come up. I was gonna take a foul and light his ass up. Like I couldn't get him. So at the end of the game, I wouldn't got the ball. And of course, this dumb shit that they make you do, you shake hands with everybody as you pass by. As I'm passing by, I took the ball and slammed it right in his stomach. Ah! Take that, little motherfucker. And we all squared up, right? And so after the game, the head coach of Vanderbilt came to our fucking locker room and said, that punk motherfucker. I said, dude, I said, and then Wimp was like, did you do it? I said, no motherfucking matter what I did. Get out of my fucking locker room or I'll whoop your ass, right? And then 2 days later, I got suspended from the team for
threatening to fight the head coach of Vanderbilt. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, so Wimp called me to his office the next day and said, your attitude is detrimental towards the team. I said, man, first of all, you gonna take the side of the other fucking team's coach instead of me? I said, yeah, I did the shit, but you saw what the little motherfucker did to me. I went off, right? So they kicked me off the team. So my junior year at Alabama, I got kicked off the team right before the SEC tournament, and luckily we won that tournament. But the first game, so we was playing Florida in game one, we were getting our asses waxed, and the coaches kept saying, "You gotta put Robert in, we're losing." They were like, "No, fuck that, no, he's suspended." And so we eventually won that game because Melvin Cheatham and Spreewell had great games, and we ended up winning that game. So we ended up winning the tournament that year for the third year in a row.
Well, revenge got you thrown off a basketball team. That's cool. I don't have any kind of story close to that. That's not going to top anything. So
I've done the revenge thing in my mind, because if whatever in my mind actually was put in action, I'd probably be in jail. So, I haven't.
I got news for you. You spend enough time in Atlanta traffic, you just want to revenge against everybody.
Yeah.
Right? You want to just run people off the road.
Yeah.
All right. Question from Davey. We got 2 trailers this week that I've been waiting on. Over the weekend, the teaser was released for Spaceballs 2.
Oh, I hadn't seen that one.
Oh, they put out the scroll, the opening scroll from the movie from Spaceballs 2. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. And the other one was the Naked Gun reboot with Liam Neeson taking over as the lead role of Frank Drebin, and he's like the son of Leslie Nielsen in the reboot. Are there any sequels or reboots you're excited for or would like to see come back? Any movie you think that I wouldn't mind, even though the original's classic. I think you could probably do a cool reboot of Back to the Future.
Yeah.
And with a little bit more, because now everything's so AI and, you know, a lot of. I think you could probably do something cool. The scariest part of Back to the Future is if you went back in the original movie like they did, where he went to the 50s and it felt like 100 years ago. If you went back today, you'd go to 1995. That's 30 years in the past. That made me feel old as shit. I was like, oh,
And we supposed to have flying cars. Where am I?
yeah, where I was
car at?
promised hoverboards, all this. I didn't get any of that stuff.
What's
Well, you got that
another
little board now that has the tire that you can like look like a hoverboard.
Oh yeah,
Set
the
up
one, the
ground.
single tire
Yeah.
skateboard thing. Yeah, those are all right. I would kill myself on that.
I'm trying to see.
There's nothing out there that I could think of.
I'm not telling you. The trailer for the Naked Gun reboot, pretty funny. I didn't feel like we needed a Naked Gun reboot. Like the original Naked Gun, the very first one, holds up. It's really funny.
Who's taking OJ's place?
The funny is, so they're all in the trailer. The joke is that they're all sons of the original cast. So at one point, he's standing in front of a picture of Liam Neeson, and he's like, "Dad, I'm not going to let you down." And then his partner's standing in front of, I can't remember the guy's name, but the other partner from Police Squad, and he's like, "Dad, I'm not going to let you down." And then they go to like a young black cop standing in front of a picture of OJ, and he just goes, no. Shakes his head. And he's like, no. So it's a funny moment in the trailer, but I like at no point was I like, man, we really need a reboot of the Naked Gun. Like, but I'll give it a shot. See if it's good. All right, well, if you think of one, let me know.
Yeah.
Question from Casey. I think we've asked you this before, but I put it in here. I saw Dwight Howard make his Big 3 debut and immediately get into a huge fight with Lance Stevenson and get ejected. It spilled over into the crowd, and for a second it looked like it was going to get bad, but they broke it up pretty quick. It had shades of the DeMarcus Cousins fight in Puerto Rico a few weeks ago.
That was crazy.
That got him suspended for the entire season because he got into a fight with a fan.
That man rubbed his balls and then put it in that man's face to smell it.
It was bad. He got popped for the whole season. Rob, did you ever consider playing in either the Big 3 or an overseas league at the end of your career? I feel like we've asked you this before.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Never the Big 3. I didn't. But I did think about going overseas, and that lasted about 2 weeks. Then I realized, because I heard Tel Aviv, sorry what's going on there now, but Tel Aviv, they treat everybody like every player that goes over there, they treat him like Jordan, like, oh, he's the greatest player ever. I was like, do I want to do that? But I'm like, man, no, man. I got family. You're gonna be away from your family. If I was a single guy back then, I would have did it. But I was married with kids, and I'm like, nah, I want to stay close to my kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What, the Big 3 wasn't really a thing though.
No, it wasn't.
Not
the Big 3
not
was,
for.
By the time the
when
Big
you
3
retired.
came about, I was too old for the Big 3.
Yeah, I was going to say, you ain't.
I don't know, man. I've
moving.
seen a lot of folks in the Big 3 that I'm like, man, this guy's probably too old to be in the Big 3.
Yeah, but Rob just going to be sitting over there in the corner. He ain't moved from that
from
corner
the
all
bench.
game long. He done went from he done sat in that one corner to the other corner. That's the only place he's going to be.
Just trying to find a little spot up shot in the corner. Leave me alone. All right, last thing. I want to talk about the Stephen A. Smith getting caught playing solitaire.
Oh, they blowing this
That's just funny to me.
Yeah.
He's playing solitaire on his phone. This was during Game 4 of the finals. My question off of this is, what is your go-to game on your phone when you're trying to kill some time?
It used to be.
Do you have
Marvel's-
one?
Yeah. It used to be Marvel Strike Force, but now it's actually Monopoly.
Okay, Monopoly.
Yeah.
Are you
I
on the
play
Monopoly Go bandwagon? Yeah, there it is. Monopoly Go.
Monopoly Go. So.
Mine is this could be considered old man behavior. Mine is Yahtzee.
Yeah,
I have like an online Yahtzee game that you can play with against other people and stuff, and the other one is Uno. There's an online Uno game that you can play on your phone against other people. It's a freaking blast. It's so addicting.
I gotta try it.
Oh, it's so addicting. You'll be hooked on it, especially if you like Monopoly Go, which is also a lot of fun. Oh yeah,
Monopoly Go is
Uno and
kinda
Yahtzee have been mine.
boring. I need more of a challenge now. I like Monopoly Go when you're just sitting there, you want to relax before you wind down before you go to bed.
Yeah.
But I still play, like anytime I go on the plane, I play Sudoku.
Oh
It's like,
yeah.
because it'll pass time so fast. Because I look up in the corner, sometimes it's 15 minutes, sometimes it's 20 minutes. Like damn. And I always try to say I gotta get it done before 20 minutes. And so
Do you do Wordle? or any of that stuff? For the New York Times app's actually pretty fun. My wife and I do the Wordle, connections, strands, and Sudoku every day on the New York Times app. It's a lot of fun.
I don't do Wordle.
Wordle's fun.
Yeah, I'm not that big of a speller.
Both. B-O-F. Both.
B-O-F.
Didn't work for me. Yeah.
Actually, I spelled that wrong. I think it's B-O-F-F.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
See? Yeah, B-O-F-F. Both. All right.
Both.
Harp, do you have a go-to game on your phone?
I used to play this little field goal kicking game.
Oh, man. I think I know what game you're talking about because I used to play it, too, where they factor in the wind and stuff.
Yeah, and I got to kind of angle it. Yeah.
I used to be hooked on that.
I used to rack up so many points, and then before you know it, you'd be going for hours.
Yeah, you look down and you're like 2 hours past. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, and what was another one? I had this other like golf extreme game I would play. And I'm not a big golfer in real life, but so it's interesting like how I have this app on my phone where I'm consistently playing this game. So it's usually one of those two, or I'm on Instagram. Like you be on Instagram. Unfortunately, sometimes you can be on Instagram long enough and time will just be going.
Instagram's a time machine.
Yeah.
You'll look down and be like 3 hours have passed. You're like, what did I do?
Yep.
So which Uno is it?
I think it's this. Which one? I'm gonna look on my phone. I'll find out. It's the official Uno game, but you create like a little free account and you can play against one other person, or you can play in groups of 4.
Yeah.
And dude, it's a freaking blast. I'm totally hooked on it.
Can you if I wanted to challenge you, could I challenge you?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I play against my wife all the time. She'll challenge me to games constantly, and we're back and forth. And she kicks my ass. My wife loves little games, and she's a Scrabble person, so she smokes me in Wordle like every day.
Yeah.
But yeah.
My mother and I used to play Scrabble all the time. Upwards. She loved Upwards. Y'all ever play that one?
No, but it's like Scrabble, right?
It's like Scrabble, but you can stack the tile on top of the tile and change like whatever word go to no and then go down. Like
that's cool. She used to play Words with Friends a lot. But
yeah, I know a lot of people
the
play
problem
that.
is she goes, I had my profile picture on there, it was from her Facebook profile, and she's like, every sicko pervert wants to flirt with me on this app. No one just wants to play Words with Friends. Like, how are you doing today? What's going on? Where do you live? And she's like, I don't want to fucking chit chat. I don't need you hitting on me. Just play your words and play your Wordle. What's going on in your life? It's like, leave me alone, sicko. The internet sucks. All right, that was the last thing I had for us.
So I'm downloading Uno right now.
Oh,
You're gonna hate me for it. You're gonna be hooked on it.
I think Jenner's and I talked about this last week
What happened?
when we talked about, I guess, whenever Rob was coming to the city.
Oh yeah.
I think what did we say? What was it? We hope he can be here July 22nd.
Yeah, because you're like, I'm gonna be here what would you say, the 3rd week of July or something? Was your goal? And what was it? July 23rd
It's my dad's birthday.
is your dad's birthday. July 21st is my anniversary. So I was like, well, we're looking at the 22nd or nothing. Can't be going to a Braves game with Robert Horry on my anniversary. Sorry, sweetheart.
Sorry,
sweetheart.
Way after
I'm
that.
gonna go get Rob drunk and try and take one of his rings.